Is this thing on? All right. We're live. Welcome back. This is a live stream on YouTube. If you guys are watching this as a playback, welcome. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be going over just some trucking news in general, as well as some frequently asked questions that I've gotten asked throughout the week over and over. And I'll be answering today. Number one, before people get in here, do you have to pull into a weigh station? Okay, if you're starting out, you might not know this. If you have a DOT number on the outside of your truck and you're doing business in that truck, yes, you have to pull into the weigh station. It doesn't matter if you're empty. Doesn't matter. If it's a DOT regulated vehicle, yes, you have to pull into the weigh station. All right. And I've just got literally a list wrote down like through the week that I've gotten asked, and hopefully this will be good information for you guys before people start getting in here and commenting in the live chat. Do I need an ELD? Yes. If your truck is not older than 1999 model, you must have an electronic logging device. You must also write paper logs as a backup, and if you do not, that's a violation when you have your safety audit. So, hopefully, what's up, Bubbles? I'm just going over some FAQs I've got throughout the week at the start here. Do you need an authority to start hauling? Like, can you just go ahead and start hauling? If you do that, and which I don't know how you would get loads, but yes, you need an authority. But if you somehow got a load and you were driving on personal, and if you didn't lie about it and they asked for the BLL and stuff like that, again, I'm not sure how you would get the load, but you would be in a lot of trouble and you would get a lot of fines. So yes, you need an authority to start hauling. How many days does it take for my authority to go active? I get asked this all the time, multiple times a day. It takes 21 business days for your authority to go active. And this leads into the next question I get. Do I need insurance to make my authority go active? Yes. However, 5 days before the 21st business day when it's going to go active, get your insurance. You do not have to get it as soon as you... That way you don't pay an extra month of insurance when your authority is not even active. Hopefully that makes sense. Next question I get is, how much does an authority cost to get? $300. Go right through dot.fmcsa.gov. One guy commented that he paid a company $1,400, and I was like, whoa. You can do it yourself, $300. All right, and that's what I wrote down for this week. I'm going to do this at least once a week. Just write down a little notebook. I get the same comments over and over. So I'm going to start answering them. But what's up, everybody? If everybody's joining in, I just started the live stream going over those FAQs that I've gotten throughout this week. Sorry for the lack of uploads. I've got a lot of stuff going on, some big plans, big things. I just want to hop on live here for at least an hour or so and go over some news, answer some questions, all that stuff. I did get my truck sold. I'm just waiting on the money to be wired to my bank account so me and him can go transfer the truck into his name. It should be done by next Friday. As of right now, the truck is still out there. And while I got it, I will, now that it's here, I can make videos on it that I was wanting to do before I get rid of it, such as how much tire tread do you need, just different little things about a truck that you guys ask all the time. But what's up? How is everybody doing? So honest, most drivers don't tell you some things about the business we need to know. Yeah, it's because, which I get what you're saying, most YouTubers don't tell you stuff that people actually need to know. It's because they've started making money from it, from like courses and stuff. So they, once you start getting money big money, especially like selling $1,000 conference tickets or $5,000 courses a piece per person, which is just blows my mind. People will pay that. That is just insane. But um, once they start making money, they start getting more and more. They want people. They're going to start wanting people to pay for that information. You know what I'm saying? They're going to give less free information because people are willing to pay that, and it's just crazy that people will pay that money when they can do a simple Google search and get their questions answered most of the time. And people will spend that money on people that they build a trust with. Like, say, for example, you guys trust me, and if I just put a $5,000 course out there, you're more than likely going to spend that with me than, say, another YouTuber because you've watched me and you trust me. I wouldn't do that, but they're playing off of people's trust to get them to give them money that they're probably going to take forever to make back. But that's just, it just pisses me off the more I think about it. But yeah, that's generally what happens. All right. I took your advice about getting dedicated loads, and one brokerage held my truck hostage, and we ended up losing that dedicated load deal. What do you mean, took it hostage? Interesting. Like, held the truck at the location and wouldn't let you leave? Or, like, did you call around, or was it through a broker? I'm a little confused on the one brokerage held the truck. While you type that out, I'm going to go ahead and go over a little bit of news. They're going to start using drones to catch truckers that are evading way stations. We had a delivery with an appointment time, and the broker hadn't made the appointment. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. I think I said it in a video. It's been a long time. Um, but you want to make sure, don't rely on the brokers to do everything. Don't even rely on the shipping where you're picking up the load to do everything. You need to do that yourself. Make sure before you leave, when you pick up a load, before you leave, call the customer, the receiving location, and make sure you go over what's on the bill of lading and RateCon, and make sure they know you're coming. And if they say, we don't have an appointment for you, that's when you call the broker. So do not, whatever you do, I mean, you've seen firsthand what happens, right? Do not, whatever you do, rely on brokers. Do your due diligence yourself. I would rather do it myself, calling the receiving company and making sure there's an appointment set up for me, than getting there and like what happened to you where they held it hostage. Yeah. I just got the automated teller. I wouldn't have moved. I wouldn't have moved if I would have picked up and couldn't get a hold of them. I would have called the broker and made sure before I leave. If I can't get a hold of the shipping or the receiving location, I won't move until the broker confirms with me and shows me like an email or something that they have confirmed with them that I am coming. That's just how I am. How I was when I was driving myself. I would not move. What grinds my gears, folks that have been doing this for less than a year are out here claiming to be experts in selling courses. Like, are people really that desperate to give away their money? What it is, just like I said, they watch these people and the people are likable, right? So they establish trust. Like, okay, this guy's got good information. I trust him. Like say maybe you trust me. They play off of that trust and abuse that trust and say like, hey, let's say I start out a course. Let's say I started a course, $100, get like 3 people, make them make a testimonial about it, even if it was a trash course. You know what I'm saying? Make them make a testimonial on it. You guys need to do this. Up the jack the price to 500. I mean, I've been in marketing for a long time. I know exactly what these guys are doing. Okay, like I love learning how human psychology works, and I know how they're doing it and why they're doing it. This will never happen to me again. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I mean, the mentor I had, she does hot shot. I was going to get into hot shot, not box trucks, but she like drilled it into my brain before you leave the pickup location with the freight. Call the customer, make sure everything's right, make sure the piece counts are right, go over everything on the rate con and BOL and just everything. And if something is mismatching, maybe they put on an extra piece that says you're supposed to have 2, but they put on 3. Guess what? That's more money. Call the broker, call the customer, make sure everything's right. That's what got drilled into my head when I was getting into trucking. That's also what my dad told me as well. Um, Oh, let me get back to this while everybody's asking questions or thinking of something to ask. Connecticut State Police tested out using drones to catch truckers going around and detouring around way stations. So, and then they'll send a unit after that truck. Something to be aware of. I'm going to go desktop here. Let's see. Here we go. So, Connecticut was the first ones to use it. So, I used to do this. I would, which I stayed pretty close to home, and I knew the back roads I could take. So I used to actually go around way station. I didn't have nothing to hide. I just didn't want to be caught up there and have to wait in line for the trucks to go through because it takes a few minutes just to get through a way station. That's the only reason why I did it. But it's just annoying that now they're sending out drones nonstop catching truckers doing this, and it happened on February 20th. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So be aware. It's probably going to become a thing in every state. That's another thing I want to talk about today. I recorded a video that I haven't put out yet, and it's kind of a trucking and future of what I'm going to be doing and stuff video. As soon as I get this truck out of my hands, I'm going to be selling off my dedicated routes to either the guys I've got running them or just get completely done. Like I'm pretty sure I'm going to get completely out of it. I can still answer questions because I know a lot, but I'm pretty sure that it's just trucking in general is just so overregulated. It's insane. It feels like you're wearing a collar, and I mentioned this in that video. You've got a collar on by DOT. Uh, just so many agencies just have this collar around your neck, and if you're not complying on one thing, you can get put out of service. It's just so stupid to me. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how I feel in the trucking industry. Is I feel like that it's like you got a collar around your neck all the time. Like if you don't do something right, if you don't have your insurance you're paying $2,000 a month for, guess what? You can't haul anything. You can't do this. You can't do that. There's just so many other businesses out there that you can do for relatively cheap startup costs and way less regulation and make 6 figures a year. That's literally why I made this channel, to document. I've done a lot of stuff before. And it's just crazy that I don't know why people think that trucking is the easiest to get into. It's very easy to get into, but you're not going to profit 6 figures. You might gross 6 figures in a year, but your profit's going to be less than half of that. Yeah, it's like you're not working. Exactly. Like people are like, fire your boss and you can do trucking. Guess who's over your head in trucking? Progressive, DOT, whoever's helping DOT, and then you got, gas prices. It's just like there's people over your head, okay? You're not like you fire your boss at your work to go into trucking, but then you got the big DOT boss that, like, if they say that your truck isn't good or compliant or they're going to find something, guess what? You're out. I mean, that's just it's insane. Like you're not really, I get there's with other businesses, you've got stuff like that, like OSHA and stuff. But man, trucking is one of the most overregulated industries I've ever seen or been a part of. And I've been a part of e-commerce. I've been a part of a lot of things. That's all I'll say as far as that goes. But just think about it. Think of how overregulated that is. OSHA isn't that bad. It's insane. Yeah, well, I mean, bubbles. I mean, I'm getting out. I mean, I could keep doing like hiring or subleasing, if you will, my dedicated routes that I get, or I could go into dispatching. But to me, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I'm bringing in money, not having to do it, and I could do something like that or become a broker or a dispatcher or whatever. To me, it's just not worth it. There's just so much BS you have to deal with. You know, it's ridiculous. When I could literally go out here buy a lawnmower for $1,000. Say I got a decent used one, uh, fill its tank up with freaking $5 a gallon gas, which don't even get me started on fuel prices for trucks and how much fuel you spend. Go out and mow 2 3 yards and make $1,000 in a day, depending on yard size. I mean, eh, uh, but yeah, you're gonna start seeing some more stuff that I'll be doing. I've already got some stuff in the works. That's why I've not been uploading a lot this week. And yeah, exactly. Insurance, truck payments, brokers, low boards, diesel, out of town hotels. Exactly. I don't know why or when trucking became this big like gold rush. Uh, Come on, the water's fine. Come on, trucking, trucking, trucking. Come on, come on. And then you get into it and you're like, holy crap, man. Water's not so fine once you do it for about, a year. And people are still preaching that, it's an $814 billion industry. Come buy my $5,000 course. Get started today. Just get your truck. That's all you need, man. It's like, man, come on. Get out of here. You know? Yeah. 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 It's just, and that's when I started. Like, once I got a swig of the juice, and I was like, okay, you can make money. But once somebody either hits you or you have an accident, pretty much you're out for me, I was out 2 months driving myself and I had to find a way to get my dedicated stuff moved, which made me get creative. And then doing it legally. And then say like now with war mentions of war and say markets get really bad, good luck getting parts, man. I mean, just if I didn't have that dedicated stuff, man, I mean, that crash, if it would have taken 6 months, insurance doesn't pay out if it's not your fault. They don't pay out till the truck's repaired, loss of income. So, I mean, that would put somebody out of business right there. Oh yeah, and then taxes is another thing. Like, not a lot of people don't know taxes. Like, if you're self-employed, guess what? Off the top, 15%. So let's say you make 5 grand. Let's just do the math. And this isn't even, that's just self-employment tax right off the top. Pull out the handy dandy calculator, throw it on desktop. All right, watch this. Let's say we got a $5,000 load, right? Or for a week or something. Let's say 2 days, 3 days, whatever. All right. Times this by it's usually 30, self-employment off the top 15, and then it's usually in between like 10 to 15% more after that at the end of the year, whatever you make. So we'll just times it by 0.3, which is 30%, 1,500 of 5K. So 1,500 of this number that you grossed, you got to take away $1,500. And this isn't counting like fuel costs, truck payments, all this sort of stuff that just people don't even talk about. Like, nobody knows taxes, and like they probably aren't setting it aside. But yeah, I mean, right there, like that right there, I'll put a lot of people out of business. I mean, I feel like you're losing it. Yeah. Worst comes to worst, you just got to go work for somebody else. I mean, worst comes to worst. It's not a bad thing. A lot of people start over. Ricardo, I believe you have to get lucky in trucking sometimes. I landed with a local company making $3,500 plus weekly, hardly doing 600 miles. See, but what's coming out of that 3,500? You got to take 30% of that off the top. So, are you really making anything after expenses and taxes? You got to factor that in. I mean, I made a lot from my dedicated stuff. Calling local factories, just like I said in my last video. A lot of people won't tell. A lot of like, okay, other box truck YouTubers, for example, they're not going to say that it's actually hard. They're making it look easy, okay, and trying to make you buy a course. That's why, because they're making ad money. Can't even see my finger. Ad money, and they're making course money. So do you think they're going to tell people that the truth about trucking? Do you think they're going to say, listen, man, trucking's not easy. You've got to do some work, okay? It's just, yeah. Where I am from, we don't even pay taxes like this. The Bahamas is awesome. Yeah, I've been to the Bahamas. I went on a cruise there. I liked it. It was neat. Man, it would be nice to be in a country where you didn't have to pay taxes. I'd move there in a heartbeat, probably. Probably. But what I'm getting into is I'm getting back into pressure washing homes and houses. Now, let me tell you how much money you can make off a single job that can take you anywhere from hour and a half to 2 hours to, let's say, 2.5 hours, just to be conservative. The lowest I'll be getting paid is $300. And let's say I wanted to work 6-8 hours a day. That's 3 to 4 jobs. Now, more high ticket, depending on how many jobs you do and how you structure your ads and stuff like that, over $1,000 per job, depending on the neighborhood, how big the house is, square footage, what's the median income of the area you're doing it in. What's going on, Rob? I'm just I try Bubbles. What's going on, Rob? I'm just explaining some stuff. I answered some FAQs at the beginning, and now I'm talking about what I'm getting into and getting back going and stuff like that with pressure washing. But let's say I did a $1,000 job, and let's say I did just one job a day, 5 days a week, made $5,000. My total expenses might reach $400 for the week, maybe, depending on gas prices. But even gas isn't going to be that bad. Let's say 500, just be conservative. So I would have made $4,500 gross. And then you, of course, you got to take off, 30% tax or whatever, 15% self-employment tax. But I'm going to start breaking it down. I mean, I'm going to keep making trucking content of stuff that people ask me over and over and over, like frequently asked questions, just like I answered at the beginning. But in my opinion, as of March 4th, with diesel prices rising, and rates really, I mean, the 5-year average is $2.50 a mile, and just the overregulation of the industry, I would not recommend getting into trucking at this very moment in time. Honestly, I mean, I just wouldn't. A lot of people won't like that, but you know, it is what it is. That's just my opinion. Um, a single crash, even if you don't do it, if somebody hits you like they hit me under a red light, completely stopped, hits me, puts me out of commission, can't drive my truck because it's being worked on and waiting for parts for 2 months. Let's say that reaches 6 months. I mean, what's somebody going to do if they don't have anything coming in for 6 months? You know, you got to think about it. I mean, it's just power washing is great business. Just make sure you have great insurance to avoid those claims from leaks and issues with that happening with pressure washing. Yeah, the thing about it is the way I do it is I will walk the customer around their property and I'll show them things and point out things that maybe they don't realize. Like, say I see a wilting plant, I have them right there by the arm, like, hey, see that right there? That's not me. Do not make a claim on it. And then before I do the job, I have a paper written up by an attorney, my attorney, that basically 30% down, once the job's done, pay me. And then I have a document that we go around as I'm discussing stuff with him of what I'm going to do and what we found that was already broken, plants wilted, all that stuff. So there's ways to get around the whole just watch out, for claims and stuff like that. Like, if you're official like that and you actually walk them around and tell them what's already dead and what has a crack from before and you didn't do it, and make sure you take pictures before you start as well, I mean, they're not gonna try anything. You know what I'm saying? And once they sign that paper, legally binding them to have to pay you the rest of the money once the job's done, so you don't not get paid. I mean, there's some I know a lot about pressure washing so far, and I'm gonna start recording some videos. I know a lot of people like washing it just because it's satisfying to see it be clean. So, hey, yeah, I cover those claims. Bubbles, I feel you. Yep. But just think about how much easier pressure washing could be compared to trucking. I mean, you don't have to pay $170 a month to find work. I'm literally running Facebook ads right now for $2 to $3 a day and getting leads by people messaging me like, hey, can you quote my house? It's 2,000 square feet. How much would you charge to do fence cleaning, driveway cleaning, and brick home cleaning? I don't have to pay $170 a month for a freaking load board to even just try to get a load. Not just like, oh, click, okay, I get this load. Okay, yeah, let's go do the load. You have to try to call, and they're like, oh, you haven't been in business for a year. Sorry. Gets me riled up. Gets me upset. And then lawn mowing. I mean, say you wanted to get a Troy built lawnmower. I mean, you don't have to have the most fancy stuff, Say you're pressure washing, and they're like, hey, I noticed you got a lawnmower on your trailer too. Do you mow lawns? How much would you charge to mow my lawn? And you're already there. Like, hey, upsell. And then the neighbors see how good a job you're doing. They come over there like, hey, you see my house over there? You care to, after you get done, come over there and check it out? In my opinion, there's just so much more money to be made doing that. I mean, but if you guys haven't already, by the way, I included in the description a link to our Discord and stuff. The Discord is where we can talk with other members of the community and stuff like that, like how their week's going, all that good stuff. It's completely free, by the way. Kind of like a Facebook group, but through Discord. It's basically what it is. I think the DAT board is a flex. They rarely have loads in my area, but when I search out of my area, all I see are loads. Yeah, DAT load board, which I had the biggest package, 170 a month, because it's real time updates. And a lot of the good loads will get taken before they get posted to the trucker's edge and the lowest package. So basically, if you haven't got the $170 package, I mean, good luck. You might get some scraps, but uh, it is very location driven as well. Um, it's just, man, I really just don't like it anymore. I mean, just flat out, I just don't like it no more. You know, I would rather mow lawns and pressure wash and make more profit, make money, more profit doing lawn mowing and pressure washing. I mean, it's insane. Like if I just do a driveway, just a driveway, $250, $300. I could get that done in 45 minutes. Easy. I'm in Bmore, but if I post for Virginia, I see lows all around Bmore. I also pay 170. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about location, which most things are pretty location driven. Most businesses are. Trucking's like huge. I mean, to pick up a load, you got to be near a lot of producing factories, not just factories, because there are a lot of factories that will produce parts from other parts. So they're going to be like the second in the chain of going down and making the product, if you know what I mean. But if I was going trucking and if I was staying in trucking, 100% would go reefer. More consistency, a little bit higher expenses, but more consistency, more loads. Food always needs moved. Always. Oh, I did want to mention here the trucker convoy, aka the Freedom Convoy, is heading to DC, by the way, if you did not know. At the moment, 3 hours ago, it is passing through Minnesota on its way to Hudson, Wisconsin. It said 2 hours ago, it was rolling through St. Louis. So I'll talk about that a little bit because it is. I mean, I don't know if they're going to get anything done. I wish something like that would deregulate a lot of trucking issues. The biggest issues with trucking is honestly all the regulations. I mean, I get they're trying not to, allow drugs to be moved and stuff like that. And it's just there's just way too many regulations in trucking. It makes me sick. Anybody got anything? What's the convoy really about? They're just it's about a lot of stuff. They're protesting a lot of stuff. I don't even know the full extent of it. I know I think it started mainly for the vaccine mandates and they didn't want to have to put something in their body if they didn't want it. I get it. And then it's turned into also they're driving for nurses that are being overworked. It's mainly based on don't say that on YouTube. The C word, the V word. YouTube doesn't like people that talk about it. But anyway. Yeah, it's just another mass movement because humans are so tribalistic that they stick with their tribe and don't do their own independent thinking anymore. Which is how we've been since our um, caveman days. So it's like nothing new. Everything is about what your tribe is doing, who you identify with, and whatever's going on. That's just the way of humans. It's just how it is. Again, I'm fascinated with how psychology works and stuff. So, you know. Man, I used to be in e-commerce and I could target somebody down to the smallest of interest and get them to buy, let's say, a Los Angeles Lakers hoodie or beanie or something, and I could get down to the very specific, minute detail of what makes them do what they do and why they like that team. I wish that trucking wasn't so freaking regulated that you could utilize Google Ads, which you can kind of, doing like trucking companies near me on Google or something and having yours pop up at number one. But why would a factory look that up instead of uh, going the established route, which is already just a huge whack job of a route by finding a broker and then having to pay them and then find a truck and then paying the trucker 30 days later unless they factor and take a certain amount of pie. It's just, it's awful. Exactly. I wish that everybody would get together like they are now for COVID. Well, this video might get taken down. Like they are for the Freedom Convoy and protest so many dang regulations. It's just insane. Like the outlaw truckers, they only drive at night because they deleted their trucks, Shouldn't have to do that. It's stupid. Tis stupid. Mm-hmm. Then I'm realizing the brokers are more protected than the truckers. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, Joe, please tell me you sold your truck for more than you asked for. I did. I waited until you got back with me, and then once you got back with me, I had another guy wanting to look at it, and I showed it and still made money on it. So he come down and looked at it and didn't haggle me, didn't try to talk me down. He was like, "Yeah, now I'm waiting on the money to get wired to me." And then once it hits my bank, he'll be here probably next Friday. And then we're going to go to the courthouse and we're going to transfer it. Yep. Yeah, I tried to hold it out for you. I was hoping you could get it, Joe, but wasn't meant to be. Oh well. All good. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I could have probably, in the condition that that truck is in, and I even took him on a test drive in it and everything because he didn't have his DOT physical done yet. He was going to have it by next Friday. Um, we went on a test drive, and I haven't driven it a real long distance. We went up the I-75 there, up the interstate, and I let go of the wheel and everything, and it's just like nothing happened. Like there was no accident. I'm like, man, no wonder he didn't haggle me. a truck this good condition and this close to miles is selling for like 75,000. So I mean, I thought I had it at a pretty good price. You know, half of that. I just don't agree with the current pricing of all this stuff, like houses, trucks. It's just insane. I don't agree with for a truck that like, especially box trucks. Box trucks aren't meant to go. They can go, but they aren't meant to get up to like 750 a million miles like these semis. They're meant for about in between 500,000 to about 750,000 if they're very well maintained. But man, I could have definitely charged more just because the transmission just got serviced. Uh, Full cosmetic rebuild of the front end. I mean, I could have charged a lot more, but I don't. I'm not. That's just not how I am. I do need to figure out some videos I can make on it, like today, tomorrow, or Sunday. This last week I got it. I might make some videos of like what your tire tread should be, just little stuff. I don't know what I can make on it. I already done a DIY oil change on it. Hmm. Hmm. Can't think of nothing. Maybe what you should have on the outside of the truck, like reflectors, tire tread, how to check air brakes. Maybe there's a couple of things I can make for people. Pass the DOT inspection video, that'd be a good one. Pre-trip inspection, that would be a good video to make. Super easy. Post pre-trip, post-trip, same thing. Hmm, I don't know. I'll think of something. But yeah, while I've got it, I might as well tell people what I know about that. He did ask. He's like a year older than me. The guy that's buying it. He did ask me some questions, some people that are coming into the trucking industry questions like, do I have to pull into way stations? Do I have to do this, that? Like a lot of basic questions. And it's got me thinking of I could make those into a video that because other people want to know that, right? So I'm trying to remember what all he asked. He asked the difference between like why should you go for air brakes like mine has instead of hydraulic brakes? Like why would you want to pay? Why would you want that instead of hydraulic? Um, he asked about the ELD, and why, and just different stuff like that. What GPS do I recommend? I said a Garmin ultimately, but Waze and stuff will work. You just have to watch it because they'll take you under low bridges. And you need to know the height of your truck so you don't open it like a can opener. How to fill out paper logs. Yeah, I showed him that. Man, he's set up like he's coming into it. He's gonna have a pallet jack. He's basically Amazon relay ready and everything with that truck, man. DAT. He's ready for it all. He'll have. I had tons of extra paper logs. I had a ton of pre-trip, post-trip packets, or you know what I'm talking about, little square, little rectangle flips, whatever they call them. He's gonna have man. He's gonna have all my connections too, because I told him I'd give him connections that dedicated route stuff. I'm gonna tell him the good Amazon relay runs to take in Kentucky here, what to avoid. Should we pretty set up? Did you have a name for your truck? What do you mean, like what I called it? Not really. I didn't really give it a nickname. It was number 104, so I mean, I guess that's nickname. I didn't really call it nothing. Big Betty. I can't remember. I might have called it that at one point because I used to have like my very first car, my very first beater car. I called Betty. It was just a little Corolla, that little Toyota that ran until that thing had a warped like axle. It just kept going. I didn't care. It was my little beater car, and I called it Betty. I probably called that in one of my videos Big Betty or something. Could call it Big Betty. I don't know why Betty just rolls off the tongue. I guess Betty. Trying to think of videos to make too. Been super busy this week. I'm setting up my pressure washing stuff. As the season's coming in, it hit 71 degrees yesterday. Man, it feels so good. It's about time to start lawn mowing and pressure washing. And the thing about pressure washing is you can even do that in the winter. You just got to watch the temps, and you can even if you don't want to fire up a pressure washer, you can like window clean. There's a gutter clean in the winter, so it can be a full year round business. It doesn't have to be seasonal. And I do know people that make over like profit over 100K a year as pressure washing companies, and especially one in Nashville. So be on the lookout for that. I've already got 2 jobs already at the end of this month. Each earn about 300-400 piece. And the thing about pressure washing is it's very lucrative, especially if you get into the big neighborhoods and you say you're pressure washing one of their uh, driveways, and then a neighbor sees you, walks over like, "Hey, once you're done, you care to come over here and check mine out?" Man, it's a snowball. Once you do one, word of mouth starts, and it goes crazy. And it doesn't take nowhere near the amount of time. Like, say you get a $600 load on uh in trucking, you've got to go pick it up, you got to drive it. Let's say it takes you 11 hours drive time to get there, the full amount, unload, and then you got to do a reset and then come back. Like, think how much time that's taking. And then with pressure washing, you can do relatively most jobs, even big houses, like full wash, driveway, everything, within 2 to 3 hours, maybe pushing 4. um, but it's just crazy how much money you can make, and then charge $800 for a full property. I'd probably charge like 1,000, depending on how big it is, like a 2-story house. But it's very lucrative in a short amount of time, and you get to stay close to home. I mean, try to land commercial accounts with pressure washing. My buddy does Cracker Barrel parking lot. Yeah, that's another thing. You can branch off into not just pressure washing for them. Say their parking stripes are faded. There's nothing saying that you can do that. Be like, "Hey, I washed your parking lot. I noticed that your parking stripes are very, very faded and they're hard to see. Would you mind if I painted those on there?" It's very easy to do if you've never done that before. That could be an upcharge, another $500,000. And a lot of time, commercial businesses, they have a lot of money to spend, and they'll pretty much say yes to anything just to get it done and out of the way. It's going to be interesting. I'm still going to be brain dumping all I know about trucking and try to make it into videos for you guys that are still, part of that audience and are still doing that. But you're going to start seeing some videos of, like, say, pressure washing recap and before and after recaps, like how how much does it cost to start pressure washing, all that good stuff. You know, that's why I named this channel Jay's Side Hustles, because this is literally anything I do, I can teach you guys how to do it. And as I learn and as I get better, if you guys decide to go that route, you're watching me do it, so hopefully it helps you guys do it, and not having to buy a $5,000 course. I love it. I need to quit roasting people. Yikes. Hey man, buy my ebook, man. Oh man. Man, I used to sell Kindle ebooks all the time. I'd get them ghost written and everything. I've done everything. Like, I have literally done it all. If you have a question about it, if I've done it, I'll tell you. I don't care. I've sold on Amazon e-commerce. I've ordered from Chinese factories, got it shipped over. I've done drop shipping on eBay. That actually was kind of interesting because you can make a lot of money doing that. It's very weird. I've tried it all. Tried it all. In my opinion, trucking ain't it. In my opinion, it's not it. It ain't it, Chief. In my opinion. Like, honest, brutal opinion, it's not where it's at. Don't fire your boss to do that. Can you make money? Yeah, you can make money, but yeah. Mm-mm. If I could go over and do it again, probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't have went full-time pressure washer, to be honest, in lawn mowing. Honestly. You can make more money in a shorter amount of time and keep more of the money. Less regulations. Don't go buy that course for $5,000. Man. Oh boy. The dog is about to start barking. What's she done? Lily, what are you doing? It's crazy to me that factories that handle chemicals that I used to work in aren't as regulated as the trucking industry is. It's insane. What are you doing, Lou? Are you tired? Are you waiting on Mama? She's coming home. Yeah. No. Sure. What, Lou? Hang on a minute. Trucking out the box course. ... Rip off. They're all rip-offs. Oh, he said it. Oh my god. What pressure washer are you going to use? Right now I have a 4 gallon a minute. What's that brand? Simpson. What is that brand? Yeah, Simpson. 4 gallon a minute. And then I'm going to eventually upgrade. I got to get me a tank, and I got to get me a work truck or a van or something that I don't care to get bleach on. I just don't want to throw a big old tank, 200-gallon tank with water in it, you know, and have bleach coming through it and stuff on something that I care about. So I'm going to get me a little beater pickup truck and throw a tank on there, buy me an 8-gallon, mount it up on probably a flatbed or something, and then go from there. But 4 gallons should be fine. You can get by with a 4-gallon pressure washer, 4 gallon a minute. But yeah, man, I hate to tell you, but every box truck YouTuber on YouTube that I have seen, do not buy anything. Like, for example, I have nothing against the guy, but Demetrius B, for example, makes a course, starts making money off the course, quits making trucking videos, Why? And now he's getting out of trucking. Why? Because he came into it, made his money, is probably still making money off courses and ad money off those old videos, and realized that trucking ain't it. So he's getting out. But guess what? Is he going to say that? Is he going to take his course down? Is he going to come out and say that trucking's not it? No. Why? Because he came in, grabbed the bag, and left. These YouTube people are crazy with their prices. Yep. 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 They're trying to come in, grab some money, and yep. Unfortunately, you know, the whole conference ticket, and I'm gonna start dropping names. I really do not give a damn anymore. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just don't. Okay. I just do not care about these people now. I really don't. So the only people that I think are getting drugged into it and are just following the leader is the box truck couple. I think they're truly good people. Those two. But the thing is they have now got drug into this big conference $1,000 ticket deal because the other ones have talked them into it or they're going along with it. I think they're truly good people, but the rest of them are just wanting money. Okay, they're just abusing trust and want money. Okay, and again, I do not care anymore. But I feel like that their intentions starting out were not to make a ton of money off. Maybe you know, I know that they make money from ads and stuff, but like, man, I just can't believe that you would do that to your community that has built trust in you. Do that. Like, you're not going to get any value from you. Yeah, you'll build connections and you'll be able to network with other people that are trying to succeed like you. But listen, like, it just like grinds my gears. That it's not going to help you. It's not. Like, I have a Discord. You can literally, it's like a Facebook group, but people can get on there. They can video chat. They can voice chat. It's completely free. You don't have to pay $1,000 a ticket. If you want help, you literally go over there and you're like, hey, hop in voice chat. You get in voice chat. You turn on your mic right here, or this mic right here, and you start talking with somebody on there. I mean, it's like, if you want to build networking connections, why would you spend $1,000 on a conference ticket and go all the way down to freaking Georgia to just see people in person? Like, what? We live in a day and age of where you can Zoom call and other stuff. Like, hey. Sorry, I get pissed off. Lulu, no barking. The dog agrees. I'm sure you can tell. That's true, KK. But the thing is like, say for example, you guys like trust me, right? Okay, I could abuse that trust like all these other YouTubers and say, hey guys, buy my $1,000 course. It's worth it. There's $20,000 worth of value in there. There's nothing to lose. It's like, oh, you get my vote. I don't want to be president. F that. Heck no. I appreciate it though. Yeah. It's just they're taking advantage of people's trust, and I don't like that. It really pisses me off. I know how human psychology works, and that's what they're doing. Maybe they don't think they're doing that. Maybe they're telling themselves they don't do that. But that is what is happening. That's why people are paying $5,000 for a course. That's why they're buying a $1,000 conference ticket, because they have hopes that that will allow them to become, let's say, a millionaire. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's not. Thing is, your course will be worth it. Well, yeah, but you know, I could make a course, but to me, I won't personally pay anything over $300 to learn something if it's actually good information. And most of the time, and I have probably spent, man, the amount of money I've spent in courses from my younger, like 17 years old. I quit buying courses around like 22, 23. And I'll be 26 in another month. Because I realized that after you take so many courses and spend so much money, you realize that a lot of the information you already knew from literally watching free information on YouTube. And yeah, you might get a little golden nugget here and there, but most of it you can find for completely free. And if not on YouTube, you can simply Google search how to get my authority. And there is an article that literally has step 1, step 2, step 3, sub steps underneath it. I mean, but I wouldn't charge no more than $100. Like, just to me, it's just so crazy. But I just wouldn't want to do that because now the market is tainted with this abuse of trust when I could just put it on YouTube for free, and YouTube's going to play ads anyway. But since I'm monetized, they'll give me a little, you know, couple cents per view kickback. It's not a whole big lot, but hey, it just gets me worked up. Gets me worked up with what I'm seeing happen. And it happens with everything. It's like, you know how you see all those e-commerce ads everywhere? Like, hey, you want to be a millionaire by the end of the year? Hey, I made 800,000 this year. Really, it's just Photoshop numbers. But anyway, that's what I'm seeing happen to especially the box truck part. Like, it's becoming that. Pretty soon, you're going to see that. Your knowledge and experience. And honestly, I would pay for that. I appreciate it. I don't know. Maybe down the road. Like, I want this channel to be a document channel mainly and a teaching channel. Oh, Lord. Blur. I want this channel to be a documentation channel, not only for myself, but for people wanting to learn. That's initially why I started. I had no intention of it becoming anything, and all of a sudden 3 months later it's over 1,000 subs, and now we're already over like closing. I think we're over 2,500. I don't even know. It's just blowing up into something that I had no intention of happening. I was just documenting it, right? And I so happened to have Photoshop experience and video editing experience, so I could make good thumbnails and I could make good video edits. So it just kind of became a thing. But I want it to be like documentation and teaching. Whatever I'm doing, like pressure washing, I'm going to start recording that, and I'm going to start teaching what I know with that. And if people want to do that and make money doing that, then it can be a resource for them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to just get people's money. I'm late. The A Field 77. You didn't miss a whole lot. Just a few roasts here and there, and me just talking. First time I saw those box truck folks selling courses, I knew they were BS. Yep, KK. Really liked your video about monthly rate averages. Awesome content. Rate averages. Oh, yeah, gotcha. I was going to try to do it weekly, but I don't think it gets published weekly. It might be monthly. But yeah, I'm going to start doing that. I'll probably still keep up with that if I can, if I don't have my hands full. Once I really get into going with pressure washing and stuff, start making those videos. But I mean, it's not hard to look at that stuff. It's just that nobody else is going to tell you that stuff, you know. And I seen a hole in the YouTube world that people are just saying, hey, ask for $2 a mile, and that's what you should be asking. It's like, if you actually did your research and looked at what the average is, I mean, the 5-year average is $250, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm going to make that video, is because nobody else is doing it, and I see a void that needs filled. That's why I pretty much want to make that content. But I appreciate it. Mobile car washes are doing good in SoCal. For a mobile car wash, I think, in my opinion, there's too much work. Whereas pressure washing homes and driveways and stuff, you literally pre-apply your chemical mixture. You pre-soak everything before that with water. That way it doesn't kill anything. You pre-apply your chemical mixture. You let it set for 10 minutes. You surface clean it off on a driveway or wash it off with your wand, and you're done in an hour 32 hours at the latest. I mean, and it literally, the chemical mixture does it all for you. It eats that algae and efflorescence and calcite and all that stuff built up on there and dirt off that, and all you have to do is you're spraying other people's water on their house for them, just because they don't know about chemical mixtures and stuff. Car washing's a lot of manual labor as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? I just started my box truck business and I'm in South Carolina. The low board prices are ridiculous. How can you help? Not with prices, but with advice. Um, what accountant did I did my own accounting, but you can talk to a CPA, a tax professional. But the A Field 77, my last video literally goes over how to get loads without load boards. I would go watch that. I'm like very hardcore to the point in that video, and I just like, that's just straight to the point in that video. There's a few guys selling courses on pressure washing too. They seem bogus as well. Lulu Hush. I know one of them. His name's Aaron. I I could say that you will learn more from so much. There's just so much free YouTube content and Google in general about like, and forums that you can go to. Um, you don't have to buy a course for everything. Like courses have, I don't know why, but I guess it's where the school system has taught people this way. Like, you know, you have to sit down and learn something before you do it. But a lot of, like me with trucking, for example, a lot of it was trial and error. Like the good old fashioned way, just go do it. You'll learn along the way. I don't know why people are like, I need to know every single detail before I start. And to me, that's just dabbling and pushing it down the road in procrastination. Like, I don't know why people think that they need to buy courses to do something. Yeah, just watch and learn. Like, literally, Google search, forums, see what people are saying. There's just so much free information out there. It's insane. But they feel like that it's not credible, so they pay for it. Exactly. You got to fail. What does early access really mean? That just means you can see it before other people see it. I hate Amazon Relay, and I've been away from that for a very, very long time. I quit running them for a very long time, and don't recommend them. But yeah, that's all it means. You just see it before people without early access can see it. That's all it means. But yeah, like it's like the old fashioned way of going out and doing it yourself and learning yourself is gone. And even with free information, you can get 90% of the information besides the little things you'll learn along the way, like I don't know, like calling a receiver before you leave the shipper to make sure everything's right. That's something that you'll learn along the way, like Bubbles commented when I first went live, where her truck got held because they didn't have an appointment made. I mean, it's just stuff, you know, you're going to learn 95% of the business from free stuff on Google and YouTube and stuff. And just the little nuggets of things you learn along the way. But people want to know everything. They want to know everything before they start and do something. It's just, it's not the right way. And they want 600 just to talk for an hour for the course. Yeah, it's just, man. I had never seen influencers do consultations until like I knew tax accountants and CPAs and stuff like that did consultations, but I had never seen like, hey, pay me money for a one-on-one for 30 minutes to an hour in anything that I've done until I came to the box trucking world and started watching YouTube, and I seen for a one-on-one consultation, because I'm a professional and I've been doing it for 3 months, pay me $500. It's just like, what? I'll pay $100 to a guy that's been doing taxes for 40 years, but you want $300 and you've been doing this 3 months? Like, get out of here. It just blew my mind when I started seeing that, man. I was just like, oh my God. Absolutely blew my mind. Blew my mind. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I just don't care anymore. Used to, I was like, well, I don't want to step on people's toes and, all this stuff, but like, I could care less. Like, Big Vic sells a 5,000. Of course, I hate to tell you, Big Vic, but it's not worth $5,000. Yeah, babe. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. They're paying like $1.96 a mile. Yeah. I don't know. Like, if you go watch my video about rates, you'll see I go over the 5-year average that you should be asking for, which is $2.50 a mile. Brokers and stuff are going to lie to you. Okay, straight up, they're just trying to keep money in their pocket. You need to know. You need to know information about like what the average is for 5 years if they fill up your truck. What's the average in 2022? You need to know that information. So that's why I made that video. Who has tried the Truck Smarter app? I have no idea. I have not. Well, guys, the woman is coming home from work. So I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping stuff up. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? Anybody else they want to roast real quick before I get off? I do not care anymore. From Florida to South Carolina. Yeah, Florida rates suck coming out. I don't get what the course teaches you. LOL. Just get your authority, get your truck, and find a dispatcher, and you will figure it out. Exactly. I mean, just saying, you don't need a dispatcher, but when you're brand new, it is kind of worth it. Even at 10%, I've changed my view on that because that way you'll at least get some loads coming in. I do think that 10% per load is a little high. I think 5% or 5%, 7% would be the max. I pay. That's what I paid. But are you like advertising Truck Smarter app or something? Everyone is on there. But don't talk about the fuel prices. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. All right. The woman is calling. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Yeah. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Duty calls.